What's the best joke you know? What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball? Makes gagging sound. I told this to my family when I was like 11. Went over well. The only thing so far that's made me laugh out loud is the mental image of someone telling their family that joke at the age of 11. Did you understand it when you told it? What happened? Guy walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "I'll show you something amazing for a beer." Bartender agrees. Guy pulls out a 10-inch pianist from his pocket and sets him on the bar. He starts playing beautifully. The bartender, wowed, demands, "Where the hell do you find that little man?" Guy says, "I've got a tiny wizard in my other pocket. For another beer, you can make a wish." Bartender agrees and says, "Wizard, I'd like $100,000. Suddenly the bar fills with 100,000 ducks. Bartender, confused and angry, says, "What the hell, mate? I didn't want 100,000 ducks." Guy responds, "Oh, you think I wanted a 10 pianist? I like. But he's got an ice machine and a cleaver. 10,000 ducks at 5.7 pounds/duck dressed equals 57,000 pounds of duck meat. Duck parts go for all sorts of prices. Foie gras is $12 per pound, for instance. But let's say whole duck wholesale prices at $2 per pound. He could come out of this with $114,000. Doc, you gotta help me. I can't stop singing What's New Pussycat. That sounds like Tom Jones syndrome. Is it common? It's not unusual. Are you new in town by any chance? 20 What's New Pussycats. 1 It's not unusual, then another 20 What's New Pussycats. Waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay sounds like a great time if you don't know what either of those things are. Water sports in Guantanamo Bay would be a whole other story. What do you call a dog with steel balls and no hind legs? Sparky. What do you call a dog with no legs? It doesn't matter, he won't come anyway. Why does the Little Mermaid wear seashells? Because she's too big for bee shells. Did you hear about the man with 5 penises? His pants fit like a glove. A penis joke I haven't heard before. Literally just made my day. He didn't have legs. 3 men went to hell, and they stood before the devil. The devil asked the first man, "What did you do for a living?" The man answered, "I was a lumberjack." The devil said, "Then we will chop your penis off." He turned to the second man, asking the same question he asked the first. "I was a fireman," said the second man. "Then we will burn your penis off," said the devil. He turned to the third man, asking the same question he asked the other two. The third man thought about it, and finally answered the devil, "I was a lollipop salesman." CHMOMP. Pours molten sugar over his penis. Priest and plumber go golfing. It's the last 3 holes after a close round. Plumber misses his swing and curses bugger missed. The priest is mildly offended and chastises him, "You shouldn't curse in the Lord's presence." The plumber laughs it off and looks furtively over his shoulder. Next hole, the plumber is distracted and goofs on the putting green. He can't help but curse bugger this. The priest scolds him, "I told you, if you curse again may the Lord strike you down." The priest takes the lead. On the last hole, the plumber is sweating from the pressure, practicing his putting move. 1 point separates them on the green. He swings. Connects. And the ball rolls on the lip of the hole and pivots off target into the sand bunker. FCK in FCK. The plumber rants. Before the priest can chime in, a mighty rumble is heard, the thick clouds overhead part and a bolt of lightning screams through the air. The priest is struck dead and a voice from the clouds says, "Bugger, missed." How do you spot a blind man in a nudist camp? It's not hard. Before this post I knew of many naked jokes, but I don't think I nudist one. Q. How do you spot the most popular guy in a nudist camp? A. He'll be carrying a dozen donuts and 2 cups of coffee. Q. How do you spot the most popular girl? She'll be the one who can get the last donut. Real dad joke coming up. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Most proceed to say RRRR. You'd think it's the R, but its first love is the C. Pirates love the sea, no doubt, but the truth is their favorite letter is actually P. Without it they're just irate. Not mine. I went to a beekeeper to get 12 bees. He counted and gave me 13. Sir, you gave me an extra. That's a freebie. This one is so cute. A baker's buzzin'. Sorry, Alice, caught myself out. What's the difference between John Wayne and Jack Daniels? Jack Daniels is still killing Indians. I'll put a disclaimer that I'm native and this is one of my favorite jokes. A boss had 2 employees, Alice and Jack. He only needed one. But they were hired at the same time and were both equally good at their job. He couldn't decide which to get rid of. He was sitting at a bar thinking about the situation. Alice walks in and sits beside him and asks, "You seem down, what's wrong?" The boss said, "I need to either lay you or jack off." Alice says, "Well, please jack off, I'm tired." "Ah. Well, I'm fired." Reminds me of the guy who got a job at the pickle factory. He came home from his first day and his wife asked him how it was. He said it was great, but he couldn't stop watching the pickle slicer. He knew it was wrong, but he couldn't stop thinking about putting his penis in the pickle slicer. His wife thought that was a little bit weird. Time went on, but the woman's husband only became more withdrawn. He was obsessed. Finally she just confronted him, "Look, I can tell this thinking is eating you alive. Ignoring it isn't working. You just have to get this out of your system." Her husband croaked out, "Really? Really?" she exclaimed. "I want you to stay late after work, after everyone has left. Make some kind of excuse. Then when there's nobody else around, just go ahead and put your penis in the pickle slicer. Then you'll finally be able to move on." He silently nodded his head and left for work. All day she was thinking about her husband and the difficult time he must be having. Finally, he arrived home, a little later than usual. He slammed his lunchbox down on the kitchen table. "Well, I finally did it. I put my penis in the pickle slicer." "Really?" asked his wife. "Yes, I was thinking about it all day. Then, like you said, I stayed after quitting time and people had left. But my boss came back into the factory and caught me with my penis in the pickle slicer." "Oh no!" she exclaimed. "I got fired," he responded mildly. "I can see he would be upset, but that seems a little severe." "What happened to the pickle slicer?" asked his wife. "Ah, she got fired too." What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One is a crusty bus station and the other is a busty crustacean. What's the difference between a pickpocket and a peeping Tom? One is a watch snatcher and the other is a snatch watcher. I actually laughed out loud. As a Finn, I have a special fondness for Russian/Soviet political jokes. A new arrival to Gulag is asked, "What were you given 10 years for?" For nothing. Don't lie to us here, comrade. Everybody knows for nothing is 3 years. A judge walks out of his chambers laughing his head off. A colleague approaches him and asks why he is laughing. "I just heard the funniest joke in the world." "Well, go ahead, tell me," says the other judge. "I can't, I just gave someone 10 years for it." Here's a favorite of mine regarding the Winter War. There is an army of Soviet troops at the crest of a hill when all of a sudden from the other side they hear one Finn can kill 25 Soviets. The Soviet commander enraged sends over 25 men. Gunfire erupts and then stops. Then out of the stillness the same Finn speaks again. One Finn can kill 50 Soviets. So the commander sends 50 men over again and the same result happens. Gunfire, then silence. Again the Finn shouts one Finn can kill 100 Soviets. In an absolute fury the commander sends in 100 men to dispatch the lone Finn. Gunfire erupts again and then silence. Only this time a Soviet soldier crawls back over the hill and shouts to his commander, "It's a trap, there are two of them." I remember a man once received 25 years in prison for saying Gorbachev was an idiot. 5 years for insulting the leader, 20 for revealing state secrets. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.